Hello, my ravens. How's my flock today? Enjoy the NASCAR race? Today it's story time again, but this time it's not a story from one of my books. It's a story about my life, which means it's probably going to be a lot more boring. I get asked a lot, when did you start writing, different versions of it, why did you become a writer, how long have you been writing, and I thought I'd answer this in this video. Why did I become a writer? Well, it started when I was in the 8th grade, and like many things start, I met a girl that I was very fond of. But she didn't feel the same way about me. She only wanted to be friends, but still I never gave up hope, and I was still very fond of her through the years, and we still remain friends. And then one time she got this boyfriend who found out how much I liked her. And he decided that it would be fun to hold her extra close, snuggle extra close with her whenever I was around, and rub it in my face, and, you know, kids. But that might not seem like a very big deal, but we're talking about a 14-year-old with Asperger's syndrome, and we're like 11 years probably from me finding out I had Asperger's syndrome, so this was my whole world. This was the main plot to my life at this point. Books, education, teachers, all that was just background noise, and this was my main plot. And eventually I had to have an outlet, and that outlet ended up being writing. I began by writing the girl poems. She probably had a whole stack of poems that I'd written her over time. And then I ended up trying my hand at short stories. Well, as I've mentioned in other videos, I'm a big pro wrestling fan, so the short stories I would write was always that she would, for some reason, be single, and she was holding a 16-man tournament for her heart. And of course, I would always meet the guy in the finals and win, and we'd live happily ever after. And eventually that evolved into writing more laid-back short stories, more my twisted sense of humor, my goofy sense of humor, more like you could say. And I ended up writing short stories starring my friends and I. And they would always sit around, like to read them, laugh about them, and eventually a teacher that I had, an English teacher, knew that I was writing, and she brought me a pamphlet for a contest in Birmingham. I forget what it was called, but it was the Young Writers something contest, and it was held by the Alabama School of Fine Arts in Birmingham. So I sent in the story, which was called The Medieval Caper. It was the first one I did. Me and this other girl I knew, I was I had both of our towns set as medieval kingdoms. I was the prince of the kingdom of Fayette, and she was the princess of the land of Kennedy. And after she was kidnapped by the evil dragon, I came to save the day and rescue her, along with her ex-boyfriend, the Goofy Duke. And of course, it was full of a lot of running gags, a bunch of one-liners, and like I said, just goofy humor. And I ended up doing a whole chain of them, starring me, my friends, and other people from around the school. And then after I sent in the story, later on, one day I came to the mailbox, and there was a letter from them saying that I was a finalist, and I was like, wow, that's cool. But I didn't get my hopes up too much, because I thought, you know, they might send that to everybody. And then a few weeks later, I got another letter from them, and it said that I'd won second place, and I was the only one in, like, the neighboring 4 counties that entered from around here, and I think over 2,000 people had entered, and I won second place in my grade division. And that wasn't a lot, but I got like $50 and got to attend a banquet there, a fancy banquet, and receive a certificate. But that was when I really started thinking, you know what, maybe I can do this. maybe this is something I could be good at. And other people started noticing me a little bit more too. And then when I was a senior the next year, that happened when I was in 11th grade, I need to mention, if I didn't. And then when I was a senior, I started writing songs a lot. And one actually got published by a song service in Nashville, and it never went anywhere, but still, everybody liked the song and thought it was pretty cool. And that led to them nominating me most likely to succeed in the Who's Who our senior year, which unfortunately I haven't lived up to quite yet, but I don't think there's a time limit on them, so I can still get there, hopefully. I guess as long as I make it big by the time I'm 80, I can still be like, ah, yeah, see, I did it! But anyway, also during my senior year, I decided, you know what, I want to take the next step. I want to write a book, and I did start a book. Unfortunately, it was very crappy, over-dramatic, and written in script form. It was called A Time of Destiny. And it was not my destiny to write that book. But, after I graduated, I started reading a lot of books. You know, I started reading a lot of Stephen King, Dean Koontz, and other writers, and this taught me how to write. This taught me really how to do the structure and how to make scenes and do point of views and everything, and that's the best thing a writer can do to learn is read. And don't think The Preacher was my first try. It was far from it. I had at least 3 failed books that I tried, and they didn't work out. But then I finally got the idea for The Preacher, and it was just meant to be because I went through it and I finally finished it. And that was my first book. But that still wasn't the end of the journey. I had it written a long time before I ended up going to writers' conferences and shopping it around and learning stuff. And after so many years, I finally decided that I would do a self-publishing. And that was what I did, and that's where we are today. I have 2 self-published books and a 3rd one coming out in October. And looking back, it's been a 16-year journey, and I guess I wouldn't trade any of it for the world, and I hope I haven't bored you too much with this story, but I thought it was a way to let you get to know me better and know where my writing comes from. And sometimes it's small things in life that change your life forever, and I know that did because it put me on the path that I'm on, and it I wouldn't change it for the world because I'm happy with where I am in my career. And I guess I'll close by saying anytime you're going through a rough time or going through a trial, trust me, there's a reason for it. There's something to learn from it. And you can still get The Preacher and Accents of Horror on Amazon and Kindle. The Preacher's also on Nook. And I appreciate everybody who's been subscribing to my videos. It's been gradually going up. And if you like this video, or if you're seeing me for the first time, go ahead and click subscribe. Just click the button. And I try to put a thumb out from time to time and be as entertaining and try not to be boring. I don't know if I succeeded at that. But I guess that's all there is to say for this video. So as I always say, happy reading, guys. Thanks.